If you want to compete in a triathlon, you'll need strength, drive, and a lot of determination. But like in any sport, injuries are likely to happen.
So how do you continue training for a race if you still have a nagging injury? Well, Roswell Encina followed an injured triathlete and shows us the factors that need to be considered while training with an injury.
Competing in a triathlon is nothing new for Andrew Haas. As a matter of fact, for more than a decade, this orthopedic surgeon from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, has competed in some of the toughest marathons and triathlons in the country, like the Boston and New York marathons. But this half Ironman race outside of Orlando is a special one for him. After years of racing and training, there's a chance he may not make this race because of a pain in his right knee.
It's a little sore, but you never know how it's also going to feel until you start running. It doesn't really bother me in the swim, doesn't really bother me too much in the bike. The mystery will be when I put my running shoes on and start running.
Haas has been dealing with tendonitis for a year and a half. This overuse injury is common for many triathletes, especially runners.
Just because you have an injury does not mean that your training is over. Just because you have an injury does not mean that your dreams to participate in the race are over.
As a doctor and a triathlete, Andrew Haas was able to assess his condition. Months leading up to the race, he had to train carefully with the injury, making sure to stretch every time and break up training for each event. But most importantly, Haas had to reassess his goals.
But now with this injury, my goals have changed. And I am comfortable with the fact that I'm not going to be running a 4:45 half Ironman. My goals now are to complete the race, to complete it safely, not get injured, and to enjoy the day.
Haas would train both in the ocean and in the pool for swimming. In the pool, he could also run. Well, with some help from a device called the Aqua Jogger.
It's been helping me by allowing me to maintain some of my running endurance without giving me the pain that is associated with road running.
Haas is also zooming on his bike through the streets of Fort Lauderdale about 3 to 4 times a week. Short rides can last up to 25 miles. Long rides, sometimes more than 75 miles. He's still careful, making sure he doesn't aggravate his tendonitis.
When I get beyond 60, 70 miles on the bike, it begins to get sore, but in shorter distances, it's not a problem.
His strongest event, running, can also be his downfall. This is when he really needs to be careful so he doesn't further injure himself.
You need to be able to really differentiate between when you've crossed the line into developing a bad kind of pain, which could possibly be giving you some kind of a damage.
Even when he's out of the water, off his bike, and not hitting the pavement, the training continues for Andrew Haas.
Icing is very important. It's a very, very good form of an anti-inflammatory. And a lot of people say that they don't have time to ice. And I think it's important to realize that icing can be integrated into your regular routine.
After weeks of training, Haas balances his odds if he should or shouldn't compete in the half Ironman race.
My body is ready for it. Question will be, is my knee ready for it?
A dislocated shoulder, ACL tears, and tendonitis. This is the language of an athlete. As an orthopedic surgeon, Andrew Haas knows it well. According to a recent study, an estimated 85% of professional athletes don't only recover from their injuries, but they tend to move on and perform at high level. Despite his tendonitis, Andrew Haas has decided to participate in a half Ironman triathlon. Along with dozens of other athletes, Haas needs to swim 1.2 miles. Haas is not worried this part of the triathlon would aggravate his knee. We caught up with him right after he got out of the water.
How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm good.
How's your knee?
So far, feels fine.
Next, it's a 56-mile loop around the Orlando countryside. He'll have to deal with steep hills and winds that can go up to 20 miles an hour. He made it. Now it's time to run.
Hey, Andrew, how's your knee?
Feeling good, feeling good.
After years of marathons, running is Haas's strength. But the impact on a hard ground can aggravate his tendonitis. He needs to endure just 13 more miles.
We'll also acknowledge Andrew Haas.
Haas makes it to the finish line. He crosses it with such ease and no pain.
You know, I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel okay right now. Nothing's hurt, and had a good day.
Andrew Haas made it to the race and made his goal. But remember, each athlete is different, and each injury is different. No matter what's on the line, nothing is worth a permanent injury or the chance of missing the thrill of competition. Reporting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I'm Roswell Encina.
Remember, we can't stress this enough. If you have an injury, check with your doctor before training.
In competition, injuries happen. It's part of the game. And to get back your level of performance takes a lot of hard work, discipline, and the best health care. Health South is the nation's leading provider of outpatient diagnostic, surgery, and rehabilitation services, so we can help you get back fast to the action, the competition, and the glory. We know your body. We understand your spirit. We get you back.
At Health South, we're committed to making sure you get the most out of each day. That's why at more than 1,900 facilities nationwide, our physicians and therapists use the most advanced medical technologies and treatments available. From diagnostic imaging to outpatient surgery to renowned sports medicine and rehabilitation, we provide the specialized care you need to achieve maximum recovery from illness or injury. Because at Health South, we understand that when you feel your best, your world looks a whole lot brighter.
After a stroke, do you want your loved one in a nursing home or in your home? At Health South, we're dedicated to providing the best care available. With state-of-the-art facilities and a wealth of expertise, we help stroke victims return to their active lifestyles and return to their families.